The story started with people happily vacationing in the area. There were people bathing in the sea and enjoying themselves. In the same place, Sean was driving a green motorcycle. He was just going around your area. He stopped to look at his motorcycle and drink some refreshments. After a while, he saw a man who suddenly fell down. When the prosecutor Daniel Hayes saw this, he fired Sean. Sean hides in the grass so that it wouldn't be seen. A while later a car came. A man named Eddie Kim got out of the car. He was holding a baseball bat. It seems Eddie had a grudge against the prosecutor, so he was beaten to death. When Sean saw it, he immediately left the place and Eddie's men chased him and shot him, but he escaped. Eddie left the area and ordered the rest of his crew to find Sean. Sean has returned to his place of residence. He watched the news about what he saw. While he was watching the news, Eddie Kim's people came quietly to his house trying to open his door. Sean heard that someone was at his door, so he stood up and peered through the hole to see who it was of Sean. He immediately went out on the other side of the road where he was staying when someone suddenly covered his mouth and told him not to make any noise and speak. Eddie's men entered the man's house and Agent Neville met him with gunshots and then they left the area. Agent Neville brings Sean to the federal office to interrogate him for seeing the murder of prosecutor Daniel. Sean has not told Agent Neville what he saw. Agent Neville said that Eddie Kim knew him, so his men went to his house to kill him. Sean told him that he had no choice in the end, but Agent Neville replied that he had one choice, and that was to go with them to LA to testify against Eddie Kim and be imprisoned for life, adding that they would wait for out if it has already been decided. In the end, Sean went with Agent Neville to LA to testify against Eddie. Agent Neville made sure that the guard closed the plane their car to LA. Meanwhile, Eddie's other men are preparing their plan. Every passenger aboard South Pacific Air 121 was preparing to choose their seats while the flight attendants vacated the first class where Agent Neville, Flynn and Sean were, as well as Agent Neville's partner. Flight attendants give flight instructions, then the plane takes off. Eddie Kim's staff put a timer on the cage where the snakes were located. A few minutes later, after the timer, the snake cage opened and it was released and completely circled the plane until it reached where the passengers were and killed. The snakes were also slowly destroying the engine of the plane. When the pilots found out about it, they notified the tower that they would make an emergency landing and the tower allowed it. The snakes continued to kill the passengers one by one. Gradually, the turbulence caused by the snake in one of the plane's engines worsened. One of the pilots personally looked at the problem. A pilot took down the board arrangement so that it could be restarted. He did not know that there was a snake waiting for him to kill him. He finally returned the board of the plane. Claire sees that the killed pilot is unconscious. She calls another pilot to help the snake-killed pilot. Claire calls for help from Agent Neville. Another pilot reported what happened to the tower. The pilot ordered Claire that everyone should wear seatbelts because of the turbulence that was happening. Due to the turbulence that occurred due to the storm, all the oxygen masks came down with the snakes. The passengers were surprised by what they saw, while the snakes continued to bite the passengers. Because of the shouts they were hearing from Agent Neville and his companions, his partner decided to see what was going on. When it came down, it saw many snakes, while other passengers tried to fight off the snakes and run to safety. Because of the turbulence on the plane, Agent Neville's partner fell and was bitten by snakes. Agent Neville heard this and immediately ran to help Agent John. He has a phobia of snakes, so he could not fight snakes. Agent Neville ordered all the passengers to move forward away from the snakes. When the surviving passengers reached the snake, it again ordered a barrier to be placed between them and the snakes. One of the flight attendants heard the crying baby and immediately went to find the child. It was bitten, but the child was safe. Because of the snake bite, Agent John died. Agent Neville immediately reported it to their colleague, Agent Harris, who said that Eddie Kim had put poisonous snakes on the plane so that Sean could not get off the plane safely, but his plan was shoot down the entire plane before it lands in LA. While Agent Harris gathered people who are experts in poisonous snakes, he also ordered another of his colleagues to watch over Eddie Kim no matter what. A mother with a child helped young Curtis to prevent his poison from going to other parts of his organ. It absorbed the poison in the part where it was bitten. Little by little the snakes reached the barrier they have placed. While Agent Harris went to the expert on poisonous snakes to get them ready to get off the plane, including calling various emergency personnel. Agent Neville talks to the expert on snakes. There are many passengers who complain. Claire calms the passengers down and they go up to first class to confront Agent Neville. Sean says that there are snakes on the plane because he is going to testify it's against Eddie Kim. Agent Neville told them that they should blame Sean and the government, but they have to save energy to fight the snake if they want to survive. They have to help. They ordered them to find the dead snakes so that the snake expert below knows what antidote they need. There was another snake that bit the only pilot left. Claire saw that the plane was going down, so she went to him when she saw it was a snake that greeted her. They noticed that the plane was descending. It made everyone sit down. while Claire saw an axe and killed the snake while Agent Neville took over the pilot and Sean helped to get everyone up to first class because it was safer there. Other snakes got to their place. The one who died and was bitten because of the number of people who were trying to climb up gave way and many people fell. The big snakes started to attack, the biggest of all. Meanwhile, the Coast Guard towers were prepared below in case their plane crashed. First-class passengers blocked the stairs so that the snakes would not enter. Fortunately, the pilot Rick is still alive and he autopiloted the plane. Meanwhile, the experts said that the snakes on the plane are not only from America but snakes from different parts of the world, and added that there are only a few antidotes that can only be found in America and it will take a few days if they will get antidotes. They had a problem with the plane. It was getting hot because there was no air conditioner there. The passengers couldn't breathe. Agent Neville talks to pilot Rick and asks him how to turn the plane's AC back on. They need to reset it. While Agent Neville got into a fight with one of the passengers, luckily it calmed the passenger down. Eventually one of the flight attendants with them died. Claire and Agent Neville go to the AC to manually reset it while Claire tells them what to do. Sean and the flight attendants continue to give water to the passengers who survived. Agent Neville was able to turn the AC back on and the snakes were chasing it. While the snake expert and Agent Harris go to the place where Eddie Kim may have taken more snakes. Agent Harris shot it and it was even bitten by a snake because it fell into one of the snake cages. Agent Harris interrogates Eddie Kim, who was caught selling illegal snakes. The expert took the antidote and gave it to Agent Harris. While interrogating the captured, he did not inject the antidote until he confessed. He confessed and injected the captured with the antidote. They got the antidotes they needed and they informed Agent Neville. Agent Harris said to catch Eddie Kim and charge him, and he will also talk to his lawyer. Agent Neville made it back to first class safely. When Agent Neville heard this, he told all the passengers that there was an antidote waiting for them when they got off the LA airport. So everything will be safe. They were going to tell the pilot Rick, but when Tiffany was about to open the door, she didn't answer, so Agent Neville helped open the door. When Agent Neville opened the door, the dead body of Rick the pilot and many snakes appeared before them. Agent Neville immediately closed the door. Claire told the passengers if there was a pilot with them. Agent Neville volunteered to fly his plane with the help of the tower below. A passenger points to Troy. His friend tells him that he can do it and he agrees, while Agent Neville will kill the snakes. It instructed passengers to sit down and fasten their seatbelts because it would open the windows. It gave a guide to the passengers on what to do because opening the windows will make it cold and lose oxygen, so they need to hold their breath first and protect their heads. Agent Neville counted to 3 and shot the windows with his gun. Everyone was clinging tightly to the snakes out of the window, while Agent Neville was holding Troy to fly the plane. Tiffany was about to fly, but Sean caught her well. A strong wind blew away the big snake that was on the bottom along with the others. As the plane was landing, Troy called the tower. The tower asked him if he had any experience flying a plane and Troy answered yes, but only in video games. The tower thanked Troy. Troy asked for permission to land. Troy prepared the plane's landing wheels and got ready to descend. Everyone who landed was safe. Ambulances and police went below the plane to meet the injured passengers. The doctor brought the antidotes and gave them to the wounded. Sean was bitten by a snake before he got off the plane and Agent Neville shot him, but he was wearing body protection. In the end, Agent Neville and Sean went surfing. And this recap movie ends. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching. God bless everyone.